So you want to make a creepy clown mask? Let's make one. Got to start with an armature. You can buy a piece of styrofoam head at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, or you can get yourself one of these guys. This is a lot more sturdy, but it can work on either one. And you're going to get yourself some wet clay, which is right down here. Water-based clay that is specifically called WED. W-E-D. Get some of that, and we'll start throwing clay on here. Get ourselves a creepy clown mask. Okay, we want to start with this thing, you know, putting some clay all over it, about a half an inch thick, just depending on how big you want the mask to be. So I like to go about a half an inch to an inch, and I'm going to keep putting clay on this thing and just filling it up, covering the whole thing. Well, the whole head. I'm not going to do the shoulders. I'm going to go right there and up. Now you want to mark where the eyes are. I've just put clay, smoothed it out kind of where the eyeballs are. And then I like to use these guys for eye forms. They're just those little poppers, you know, that you fold and they pop up, but they've got a real smooth, nice half circle. So I like to use this and just pop it in right there where the eye is. And then we'll put clay just around the edges here, and we'll use this as the eyeball. And that way we'll have a nice smooth surface, just like an eye. And we can either, once we cast this thing and we have the mask itself, we can either make a cool display where it's not something you would want to wear, and you can just paint the eyeball and make a real detailed, veiny, creepy looking eye. Or you can cut this area out and you can have a mask that you can wear. So it just depends on what you want to do. Okay, I want my clown to look pretty believable. So I'm not making like a creature. Well, I mean, you could make a believable creature clown too, but I want to make mine look like a real human being. So I'm going to be using some reference just for where cheeks are, and, you know, mouth and nose and all those things. And as you can see, I've got it all covered up with clay, and then I'm going to use some tools like this to smooth it out, get out all the bumps. You need one of these guys. It's really bendy kidney rake, and I'll use one of these. It's a really rubber kidney, just smooth rubber. And I'm going to use one of these guys, a bigger one than this. Just, there it is right there. And this is going to really help sculpt a lot of these big bumps out too. So, but I'm going to do a lot more with my hands still before I go in to anything else. And I don't have any expression down yet, and obviously he's not very creepy. Well, I mean, he could be creepy in a way, but I want him to be like kind of angry, crazy looking with a smile. So like you see this guy in an alley and he's just staring at you with a light above him, just staring, and it's creepy. So that's kind of the look I'm going to go for. I want an older, a little bit older clown. I want some good wrinkles, some good lines in his head that are going to be menacing. So anyway, we'll keep going at it, and I'll keep you updated here in just a minute. Also, a good technique is use your fingers as a rake. So just get the tips of your fingers in there and dig in and help kind of get rid of all those bumps. So I just got done using this guy, and so you can see I've got, you know, basic head here, and now I'm going to use this guy to get smooth out a lot more of these bumps that are on the head, and I'll show you in a second what it looks like. Okay, so this is after using this tool. And of course, I tried to sculpt in a little bit with this tool, like your temple area there. But this is what it looks like. Now, this, of course, when you get a clown, in most cases, it's the paint job that makes the clown. So this is going to just look like a regular guy, well, hopefully a creepy looking guy. But then when I paint it, it's gonna be a clown paint job. And some clown hair, probably. Okay, now I'm gonna start adding some worms, and what you can see I've already done right in there. And I'm gonna start trying to get this guy some character and some craziness. He's mad. So there you go. I'll show you in a little bit. Okay, so I'm putting some worms in here, and just really, I want this guy to be old, wrinkled, and I'm also going to show you this tool, this rubber, really flimsy rubber kidney, and then you can see it just smooths out things really well. So I forgot I need to do that, so I'm going to do that right now. Kind of stay away from this area. But so I'm using this wet clay, which is what I highly recommend because you can put it on really quick, and then with all these lines I'm doing in the face, all you got to do is add water and brush it together, and it just blends really nicely, and it makes these really cool effect for realistic, believable wrinkles in the face. So anyway, I'll show you. Okay, so what I just did now is I drew in some lines here in the forehead with this wood tool right here, and I'm just gonna fill up these squares, kind of shapes that it made, with clay. So I'm just going around, like here's a little flat square there. I'm rounding it out by putting a little bit of clay in there, adding more meat to it, and just filling in all those areas with some clay. So I'll keep going at this, and we'll be right back. I got my wrinkles all kind of, some of them, you know, in there, lots in the forehead. Holy smokes. But he's very old. I don't know if I like him this old, but when I put the water on, it might make him a little bit younger. So I'm gonna do that now. What you do, just take some water and spray it down. And then I'm also gonna get a little tray of water, and then just a chip brush, and I'm just gonna really make a mess of it right here, and then we'll just blend this all together as best we can. And this is where the magic happens with this clay. It's so cool. So you just brush it in. Dip some water. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'll be back. Okay, that's kind of what it looks like now that I've put some water on it. And you know, I gotta do a lot more, obviously, on the sides. I gotta do a lot more on it, but the wrinkles in there are looking really cool. I like it. And now I'm gonna use this guy, this little sponge, and go over it again with water. Just dip it in some water, and now we're gonna go like this, and I'm gonna press in certain areas that I want smoothed out a little bit better. And this is gonna further refine it and blend it and make it look much better. So, okay, this is how it looks further refined with a sponge. But I'm not liking how old he is, so I'm gonna take some of these jowls out, make him look a little bit younger. I like the wrinkles in the forehead. Of course, I gotta add a lot more stuff to it, but so far, that's it. Okay, so I've been messing around with the mouth, and I think I got what I'm looking for. I just wanted a little bit of a grin, like, I know what I'm gonna do to you, and look out. But I don't know. We'll see if this works. I'm gonna add some more clay, but just a little bit of a grin here. I gotta take this down, and I need it to be a little bit more evil eyes, I think. All right, so here's that brush I was talking about that I'm gonna go over these wrinkles again with right here. Just dip it in some water, and then I'm just gonna kind of brush in between the lines, right in the crevices. And this is really gonna help it blend better and just look a whole lot better. I hope. We'll see. It should. Okay, so I've tried like 5 different mouth smiles, serious or not, and I'm leaning towards something like this. Looks really bad right now, but something like that. And we'll see how it turns out. But I gotta take a break because it's getting late. Okay, back this morning. I think I'm starting to like the mouth. I've changed the mouth quite a few times, and I just wanted it kind of an evil grin. And I think that's what I'm starting to get here. Working on the ears. Ears are always challenging. So I'm just getting the rough look of that down. And I have to take out that area. This side looks better without it, to me. But yeah, he's coming along good. So just kind of working on these ears. And I'm gonna start on this next one. Just want to take a little loop tool. I'm gonna try to do this holding the phone and watching. I'm just gonna do a really rough look here. Anyway, that's not very good, but then I'm going to add some worms, outlining this area, blend them in, and just keep working on it. It looks a lot more like that, and that's still not very good yet, but it's coming. Okay, I've decided I'm going to put a collar, like a clown collar, on this guy. I might change my mind. We'll just see how it goes. I mean, a lot of this changes as I go, but I think that would be cool. Put a little collar around it and then have this mask just slip over and you have an instant collar on. So we'll try it. Just involves putting a bunch of clay around this neck and sculpting it out. Okay, this guy's coming along good. I'm going to show you another fun trick. Take a piece of plastic wrap, and we're going to go over these wrinkles yet again, and just lay it over like that, and then take just a wood tool or anything that can draw a good line, and just trace out these lines again. And plastic wrap will help it so it doesn't build up clay, and you can make good wrinkles. Okay, so I just took a marker and I put some irises on these things to just kind of help see exactly if this is the kind of look I want, and I think it is. I want it to look menacing, sinister, just like I know what's coming for you. So anyway, I got some lines in his face, just real lightly. The next thing I'm gonna do is keep working on these ears. I want this collar to be bigger. I want it to stick out a little bit further because I don't want it to be like up and you can see your neck underneath. I want it to be like also bent down more, I think. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit. And then I'm gonna do some finer details, and I think he's almost done. Put some veins in his head here. And I think he's gonna be about done. So anyway, get started on that. I think I'm getting to where I like the look of this guy. Now we're gonna do some veins, and I'm gonna show you how to do this really easy. Get yourself one of these little clay extractors, I think is what it is, and I use the smallest tip on there, just a little tiny circle at the tip of it, and I'll do it with one hand here. You can see it start to come out right there. Okay, now what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take that and we're gonna lay it on him, and we're just gonna do some squiggly vein-like stuff here. Don't worry too much about that part. And let me do some more, and I'll lay it on there. I'm doing quite a bit of veins on this guy. I just wanted to be veiny, so it's real easy with that clay extruder, and then or extractor, whatever it is. And then what we'll do is we'll take just our sponge and start massaging it in, and it works really, really well. Kind of forceful. And over time here, this will start looking like it's blended right in underneath the skin. So, I'll be right back. There's the veins. And looking at it now through the camera, you can see I like this to go down a little bit more. It's really subtle. I mean, on this guy, it's going to be a little bit more pronounced, you know, it's not like it's just a regular guy. He's a crazy guy with big veins. Because crazy guys have big veins. So there you go. And when I paint it, I'm gonna of course do some branching off of these with just the paint, and make it even more veiny and layered. But there you go. I like that. That looks good. Subtle, not too much, but also definitely there. Okay, now I'll go ahead and do the other side, and this guy's coming along. Alrighty, I've got most of it smoothed out. I'm working on this neck thing here, and I think I'm gonna take my clay extruder, this thing, and I'm gonna use a kind of a different tip on here. So it comes with all these really cool shapes and sizes that you can use. And I don't know what I'm gonna use. Probably something like this, flat and wide. And I'm gonna put this around the neck, okay? So it'll be where the collar cuts off and it goes to the skin. And then I might put another one or two, lay it on this collar. I don't know how elaborate I want to make that with that, but it may look cool just the way it is like this, but it may look, you know, cooler if I have a little bit of decoration going across this as well. And it's an easy way to put something neat in it just by pushing out of that clay gun. So we'll see how this works. So there's the strap, well, the collar. It's so cool how it can do that, and it just adds so much. Now it's drying out a little bit here, but in that, I mean, that just adds a ton to how to make it look more realistic. So I really like that. I just got to finish wrapping it around the back. There's the end of it, and there's the other side. So we'll finish that section, and then I'll try laying one across here to see what it looks. I might change it, but might as well try it because it's so easy to do. Okay, he is getting pretty much towards the end here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to do some texturing. I like to do this, kind of smooth out with the sponge, just to see those lines in there. Get rid of that, you know, it gets rid of that. And then I'm gonna go over it with something more aggressive to get the texture I want in the skin. And it's gonna be a little ball, spike ball that I've got that is going to really add a lot of different looks to it here. So hopefully, okay, so here's a couple little spike balls. This one's really aggressive. This small one, I mean the small spikes, works really good. And my daughter found it at a park, dropped off a tree that makes them for free, and I'm gonna put the plastic on here, and you shall see how this thing works. Put it on there, massage it around, and it's cool. It works so good. So I'm just moving my hand around here, all the while trying to keep this camera looking at it. And yeah, I'm gonna go over these veins with it, and hopefully it doesn't ruin the veins too much, but it's the way it goes. But this will look really cool. Voila. So look at that. That looks really cool, I think. So I'm gonna do the rest of the sculpture in that.